Local businesses are always looking for the next great innovation to catapult their companies to the next level. And in 2025, if you don't know your brand, your customers probably won't love your brand themselves. One local marketing expert is here to help, as she is also going to be providing some information on helping you solidify your brand and market that to your target audience. She is an alum of Oakland County's 40 Under 40 and the owner of Blended Collective. Lydia Michael joins me now on The Splash Live. Lydia, thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, hello. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you on as you are about to embark on this endeavor with business owners in the local area. You're going to be putting on a seminar, Brand Love in Action, How Emotion Wins Hearts and Builds Loyalty. Give us a little bit of an overview of what you'll be presenting to local business owners or others in business looking to improve their marketing skills in particular.
Yes, so it's really more so meant to be an interactive, engaging session for business owners here locally to help them understand how to engage their customer base, not just from a rational and functional basis, but especially from an emotional perspective, right? And this is what brand love is all about. It's about creating this deep emotional bond where your customers and the people you connect with truly feel connected to your organization and to your brand, not just because of what you're selling and the transactions, but more so because of what it makes them feel and what it represents in their lives.
So it's a stronger emotion sort of in those ties than brand loyalty. It's taking that to the next level. So Lydia, as these business owners or these others in business that are looking to improve their skills and make that brand love something that their customers do engage in, why is brand love so much stronger than the simplicity of brand loyalty?
So, brand love actually leads to brand loyalty and advocacy. So, it's sort of this journey that you're embarking on as an organization where you're leading your customers to be loyal and to be advocates or brand ambassadors of your company. So, today we're in a very crowded marketplace. Products and services can be copied, but it's really, really difficult to copy emotional connections, right? And so, when customers can genuinely love a brand, they become advocates, they forgive mistakes, and they stay loyal even when a competitor comes and knocks on their door. And that's the kind of relationship that every organization and brand should strive for.
And so as you have this discussion, you kind of go over two different points that you're going to be exploring that drive that brand love. There are two drivers you describe, emotional and rational drivers. What are the differences between the two, and how do they connect into creating that brand love?
So the emotional and the rational is sort of like the yin and the yang, right? It's sort of the warm and the cold. It's the emotional and the rational in marketing. And the rational side, which again is the functional side, features things like the price, the quality, the convenience, the differentiation. All of those things are the foundation, and that's what helps earn a customer's head, if you will. Now, the emotional drivers are things like intimacy, belonging, trust. Those are the things that capture the heart. And having both is really crucial because a brand is not going to succeed with just focusing on one or the other. When you focus on just the rational and the functional side, you might be respected, but you're rarely liked or loved. But when you focus on the emotional side, you risk losing credibility. So balancing both is really important to make sure that you're building a foundation of desire and affection that then translates to that long-term loyalty.
Lydia Michael is with us from Blended Collective on the Splash Live, talking about brand love, hoping to drive customers into truly having a love for products and for these companies in our local area that are providing either items, services, or both from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. And Lydia, as we talk about this term of brand love, I'd imagine it's even more important for companies that are working specifically in that small business sector on the local level, most of their customers ideally being those in their local area, and then as they conquer that market space, they then move on to others. So how important is that brand love on the local level, especially for our small businesses?
So important. So I actually talk about this quite a bit in the book, and I'm going to include some of those elements in the workshop. But this is my book, Brand Love, here that I published a couple of years ago, and that's sort of as the basis of where this workshop comes from, and a lot of the work that we do at Blended Collective. And so when we take a look at the local environment, your small business, local small business here in West Bloomfield or in the area, they very much focus on the loyalty and the retention and sort of that repeat customer, right? That is connected with them again beyond that transaction, beyond just what they need in the moment, but really creating that connection locally here on a practical level. So my goal is to leave the businesses with small tangible steps that they can incorporate and understand how can I build trust, how can I include more of the connection elements in my messaging, and how can I strengthen consistency across the touch points. So this is really something that's not just important for global organizations, but on a local level, I believe it's even more so important because it's all about our community, right? That's who supports us day in and day out.
And so your book, Brand Love, goes through all these different concepts. It goes through the basics. It's a lot of that information that people can come into this particular seminar with to learn more and to get more of the finer details from you and from these discussions. But as you mentioned earlier on, it's going to be more of an interactive discussion than it is a lecture on this concept of brand love. For you personally and for these business owners, why is that dialogue an important element of teaching this concept to our local business owners?
A big part of it is the work itself that I talk about, the emotional connection. It's not just about the transaction, it's about feeling something. And so when I'm hosting this workshop, I want to make sure that I embody the spirit of what this topic and this concept teaches. And so for that reason, it's important that we're not just talking about those things and it's not just a lecture per se, but it's more so an interactive session where businesses can come in and actually work on some of those elements that I'm teaching live in the workshop and really walk away with not just new action items and a little bit of homework, but also understand how can I implement or incorporate some of those principles in my day-to-day business? What does that look like in my industry and in my business?
So from my notes from our producer, Jake, who booked you on the show for today, you had mentioned that to him that Blended Collective is currently undergoing its own rebranding. So as you're going through that process and you're teaching some of this branding material to other small business owners here in our local area, how are you incorporating some of these concepts into your own rebrand?
Definitely. Yeah. We have to lead by example. So, rebranding Blended Collective has been a very intentional process. We just celebrated our 8-year anniversary for the company. And so, in Brand Love, I write about the importance of blending the rational with emotional, like I said earlier. And that's exactly what we're doing in our rebrand. So, on the rational side, we're clarifying our services, tightening up our positioning, and making sure that our messaging is very simple and accessible. And on the emotional side, we're leaning into the feeling of connection, culture, creativity, and really making sure that across all customer touch points, people feel something. They're not just, booking us or hiring us to work with them, but they truly feel something beyond just what we do and really beyond just the look or the new logo. I think the rebrand is really for us about evolving and showing up in a way where people can feel what we're about. And this is exactly what I talk about in the book too. So again, just sort of taking these theoretical principles and bringing them to life through our company.
Brand Love in Action, How Emotions Win Hearts and Build Loyalty with Lydia Michael, an upcoming discussion on September 30th. Lydia, if people want to participate, where is it going to be happening? How can they get involved?
So it's taking place at the West Bloomfield Library. You can register via the oaklandthrive.org website. And for more information about us, you're welcome to visit blendedcollective.com and can find a copy of Brand Love on Amazon or anywhere books are available.
Registration, once again, oaklandthrive.org. Otherwise, you can follow Lydia and her team at Blended Collective on blendedcollective.com. Lydia, before we let you go, anything else that people should be thinking about in terms of brand love or this discussion coming up on September 30th as they await the big day?
Yeah, really just start thinking about how can you make sure that your brand and your organization is connecting with people at the core, that you're understanding who your customer is, why they're supporting you, and how you can continue to build that journey with them that leads to loyalty.
Well, Lydia, we appreciate you coming on, and certainly our small businesses appreciate this insight as they continue to try to be competitive on the local level and in the ever competitive world online as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.